Hello. This is Antya from Byte Shuffle. Thank you as always for watching my videos. This time, I've put together a breakdown of how to approach the UB Tempo matchup when playing Doomsday, along with my thoughts on sideboarding strategies. There's also a link to the pile breakdown video in the description, so feel free to check it out. Here is the deck list we will be using this time. I think it's a bit weak, but I have a draw spell, lands, and some interaction, so I'm going to keep this hand. I'm digging for Doomsday. Didn't find it, so I shuffle. Surveil's effect leaves it on top of the library. I start applying pressure with Tamio. I draw a card with the cycler. I'm digging for Doomsday. I put back Thassa's Oracle first, then Lotus Petal. I'm digging for Doomsday. Surveil's effect leaves it on top of the library. I'll play Murktide Regent. I'll counter it with Daze. I'll counter it with Daze. I'm digging for Doomsday. Surveil's effect sends it to the graveyard. I hold up Orcish Bowmasters. Even if I cycle here, there's nothing I can really hit. If the next card is Doomsday, I might just win on the spot, so I decided to hold it. I'm going all in from here. I'll increase the mana needed for the combo. My opponent has 2 cards in hand. As long as they don't have a hard counter, I'm covered against Daze here. I don't really have much time, so I'm going to build a brainstorm pile and try to end the game this turn. I built the pile in this order: Thassa's Oracle, Edge of Autumn, Lion's Eye, Diamond, Consider, Brainstorm. Using the pile opener to start drawing through the pile. I put back Orcish Bowmasters first, then Consider. I activate Lion's Eye, Diamond on the pile opener stack. Surveil's effect sends it to the graveyard. I win with Thassa's Oracle. Before sideboarding, I'd like to review the list we used. First, the conclusion. I will explain it step by step. These are the cards in UB Tempo that have a significant impact on the Doomsday matchup. First, the counterspells, Force of Will, Daze, Force of Negation, and Consign to Memory. And Thoughtseize. To answer these, I'm adding Duress. In exchange, I'm adjusting the number of dazes. Next, Tamio, Inquisitive Student. They're running a lot of removal, like Fatal Push and Shieldred's Edict. They also have powerful planeswalkers like Kaido, Bane of Nightmares, and overall they're playing more creatures than we are. As a result, if we lean too heavily into the creature plan, we just end up being a worse version of UB Tempo. Therefore, in my plan, I'm not bringing in Barrogoyf. Instead, I'm sticking to a Doomsday-focused game plan. Depending on how the game plays out, I can still win with Tamio or Murktide Regent, so I'm keeping that line as a secondary plan. Next, Orcish Bowmasters. It puts constraints on our card draw. When playing Doomsday, this is a very annoying creature to deal with. To deal with these, I'm bringing in Fatal Push and Long Goodbye. In exchange, I'm cutting Wasteland. That's because they're a low-curve deck with fewer color requirements, and rather than trying to mana screw them with Wasteland, I want to avoid playing into their tempo game and letting the match stay on their terms the whole time. I think it's a bit weak, but I have a draw spell, lands, and some interaction, so I'm going to keep this hand. I'm removing Tamio Inquisitive Student. I cast Tamio and transform her. I put back Thassa's Oracle first, then Murktide Regent. Tamio's ability is 2. I'll play Murktide Regent. Surveil's effect sends it to the graveyard. I draw a card from the clue. I'll counter it with Force of Will. I respond with Orcish Bowmasters. Tamio's ability is 2. I draw a card from the clue. Tamio's ability is 2. I'm digging for Doomsday. Didn't find it, so I shuffle. And this is where the adventure comes to an end. I think this hand might be keepable, but it also feels a bit too defensive, so I'm going to take a mulligan. No lands in this hand, so I'll take a mulligan. I put back Long Goodbye first, then Cavern of Souls. I'm going all in from here. I'll increase the mana needed for the combo. Right now, I basically have 2 options. I can build a brainstorm pile and try to win immediately, or I can go for a slower pile, carefully strip away consigned to memory while facing their clock. In this case, I assumed my opponent had consigned to memory and kept a Thoughtseize heavy opener. If they start with a fast clock like Nethergoyf, I'm planning to handle it with the Force of Will in my hand. If I assume their main threats are consigned to memory and a fast clock, I'll likely cast multiple Thoughtseizes to significantly slow them down, then assemble Island, Cavern of Souls, and Thassa's Oracle to go for the win. I built the pile in this order: Thassa's Oracle, Cavern of Souls, Island, Thoughtseize. However, I think it would have been better to put Island second from the top and Thoughtseize third from the top. I'll use discard to check what's ahead. I cut consigned to memory. I seriously considered using Force of Will on this ponder, but I held back. My opponent shuffled off a ponder. I'll use discard to check what's ahead. I cut Murktide Regent. I'll choose Wizard and win the game with Thassa's Oracle. Thank you very much for watching until the end. I apologize for the many misplays along the way. I hope we can all continue to improve at Magic together. If you enjoyed this video, please consider subscribing to the channel and leaving a like. I'll see you again in the next video. This is Antya, signing off.